Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Military Spouse to Millionaire. I am legit so excited. I have been talking Emily's ear off all week about this episode. I have her husband. This is Duncan Smith, Emily's husband. Really, the reason I wanted to get to you is because in Emily's episode, she just kept saying like, Duncan's idea was to buy a house. And I was like, okay, but why did you buy a house? She's like, because Duncan did research and said it was a good idea to buy a house. And I was like, okay, so you're essentially the horse's mouth that I'm trying to get to really talk about why that is. In addition to that, this podcast will be a bit of a struggle for me because whenever I hang out with Duncan, we just like goof around and like fuck around with each other a lot. So I'm trying to be somewhat like focused on the serious topics and not just be like, oh, pickleball. Like we were just golfing before this. My hands are wrecked. I literally have my first golf related injuries. I think I grip
too hard,
and it's like hurting my forearms. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, you guys, golf is hard. Like you think it looks easy. It is not. Yeah, I'm gonna try to be serious and on topic because like Emily and I talked about, you guys and your story and where you're at for being relatively young checks a lot of boxes as far as what I hear from lots of military families about why they can't buy or shouldn't buy or scared about buying. We touched on a lot of that, you know, like you not only have bought before, bam, major, you're young, huge. You kept your place and renting it, you're landlords, like you have an appreciating asset that someone else is paying for, massive. You bought sight unseen twice. I mean, your guys' story is so major and checks so many boxes. And congratulations, you're the first male guest on my podcast. I have not, aside from the group podcast, obviously, but like you're the first past client that doesn't work for me officially. Duncan actually does a lot of stuff behind the scenes for Finding Home. You just don't know. But also the first service member. I've not actually had, you know, a service member on here talking from their perspective, you know, about getting educated on the VA loan, how the military kind of does a piss poor job of that. We can touch on that later. I want to know what your firsthand experience is. I have so much that I want to unpack, but I also know that you have questions for me, which will also be a first. Nobody has really ever been like, let me ask you some shit. And then the very, very, very popular rapid fire questions that we'll get to. So
I'm excited.
Where do you want to start? We got a lot to talk about. This might be a 2-part podcast episode for real.
It'll be a long one.
Yeah. First, I want to hear about your guys' real estate story because you're big on investing in general, which is something that like I know we talk about with like Clayton and Emily and I actually talked about on the way to Pilates the other day. Just she's like, Duncan is so into investing. And number one, bravo to you for being so young and kind of having your head on so straight to even be in that space. But I guess what really prompted at, you know, a very young age in your early 20s, like the idea to buy a house, and how did you get over maybe fear mongering from peers or leadership in the military? Because I know when we bought our first house, Clayton's leadership was like, don't you want to live 10 minutes from work so you're going to wake up right before PT? So tell me about that.
I'll go way back. So like, I think it was 2019. I was on an exercise at JBLM. And this NCO pulled me aside and he just gave me this crazy financial course in like 10 minutes. And he was like,
crash course.
Yeah, crash course. He was like, you need to start investing now. And I was like, dude, I'm 19 years old. I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah. And then he's like, look, this is this stock called Tesla. And it was like $200. And then he's like, this is my boat. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, this is going to buy me a boat eventually. I was like, yeah, okay, dude. Yeah. So I was like, whatever. So I put $100 into it and it made me like, I don't know, maybe $150. This dude made like $6,000 off of it in like a month.
Invest early.
Yeah, I was like, what? But then that got me interested because I'm like, well, I think I had like 10 grand at the time saved up from like basic AIT, all that. And then I was like, okay, well, my money's just sitting here in my local bank from back home in New Hampshire.
So basically in your mattress.
Yeah.
Like, basically.
Yeah. And I was like, well, how can I make my money work for me? So then I just went on YouTube and just started watching everything, finding out what like ETFs are, finding out all like the lingo. And then once I figured out like the acronyms, I was like, okay, I'm starting to learn.
It's like a thread, right?
Yeah,
like you just
start pulling.
But I have to just pause there to bring up a very important thing. We use YouTube for so much dumb shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll YouTube, like, my new coffee maker that I'm looking at buying, because Clayton is literally downstairs right now doing major open heart surgery on our coffee maker. And we ultimately are just going to need to get a new one. So I'm like, I'll research food places that I want to go to. I'll research coffee makers, trips I want to take.
Everything.
But not just on YouTube, but like we live in a day and age where like you shouldn't ever say, I don't know blank about blank. Because if you want to know blank about blank, bitch, it's on the internet. Like go to the internet. Like, and not that the internet is like, I got to watch my words there because people come to me all the time and they're like, well, I Googled blah, blah, blah about buying houses. You have to look specifically in Hawaii. Like, I'm not saying like the internet is the end all be all, but general knowledge about anything can be found there. So good on you for like taking it upon yourself to educate yourself on something that you thought was beneficial to like further your financial knowledge.
Yeah, I'm not huge on people asking me 1,000 questions about the same thing. So I usually just be like, okay, brother, I've taught you.
Sure.
Now, like,
go forth.
Figure it out. And if you can't, ChatGPT is a thing now.
Yeah. Or YouTube, if you can't, come back to me with like what you did find, and we can maybe build on that.
Yeah,
like you should be able to go. Like I'm gonna give you a nugget. You go mull that nugget over. If you find out more stuff and you want to talk about the more stuff you found, I'll talk about and I'll give you more nuggets. But like, it can't just be all one-sided.
Exactly.
Okay, so you researched, you got into investing.
Got into it.
In general.
And then I made like $5,000. And I was like, okay, this is sweet. So we PCS from JBLM to Hunter Army Airfield in Savannah, Georgia. And I was like, man, everybody talks about how cheap Georgia is. Let's look at houses. And I was like, I don't know. And I was like, no, I think we should.
Yeah.
And then...
You guys tell that story the exact same way.
Oh my gosh. We submitted 20...
What year was this? Important.
This was, 21?
Okay. Yeah.
21, I think.
I was submitting 16 or 17 offers I was a real estate agent here. For a single client, I was submitting that many offers.
Yeah.
So like normal for then.
It was insane. I don't know. But anyway, so we submitted 20 offers. And then our real estate agent who ended all that stuff, she did all the real estate agent stuff. I was like, yeah, I don't care.
You know, it's so funny. For some reason, because I think Clayton knew we were doing this and we were, I don't know, looking back at like your file and communications and all of that kind of stuff. And Clayton goes, wow, Emily really sent all the stuff for this transaction. Literally. I didn't hear from Duncan at all.
Yeah,
and I was like,
she's amazing for that.
Yeah.
Anyways, our realtor was like, hey, here's this house that just came on the market. I think you guys should submit on it. It's a little bit out of your price range. And we were like, okay, that kind of sucks. But it was because Em had been running her own business. So she didn't have W-2. So it was only on my financials. And then, I don't know, they bells and whistles, whatever they did, pulled some strings. They were like, we actually got you this higher loan, but you have to like, this is what you have to do.
Yeah.
And we were like, yeah, sure, sign it.
Yeah.
We're tired of, it was like 4 months of home offers.
Yeah.
And then not being in person was extremely stressful. And I don't remember what a realtor's name was, but I mean, she tried for sure. She did a couple home tours for us, but like nothing beats like being there in person.
Sure.
After she was like, this is the house we have for you, we went on Zillow and it was like a picture of an empty lot. And we were like, dude, I don't think we should do this.
What?
Yeah, it was crazy. Now the pictures are uploaded.
But there was actually a house there.
There was, yeah. So
I was like, you just got scammed so hard.
So we were like, no way, dude. Zillow, she's selling us a 2,000, 3,000 square foot lot, and we were like, this is terrible. And then we got the video tour, and we were like, oh, this is a gorgeous house.
Yeah.
So we sent the submission, got it. And then we drove from Washington to Savannah, which was crazy.
Hell of a road trip.
But then we like put the directions of the house into it. They were like, yeah, it's good to go. And then we pull up and we were like, please be there. Please be a house there.
Not a dirt lot.
Yeah. And then we showed up and we were like just amazed. And we were like, we got so lucky.
Aww.
So lucky. And I would live there, but Em doesn't want to. But that house is gorgeous.
She showed me recently, honestly.
Gorgeous
for
home.
our podcast. It is gorgeous. You could fit like 17 of your houses here.
Yes. Yeah. Georgia, huge houses. Yeah. Hawaii, not so much.
Yeah. True for Colorado, Texas. Pretty much anywhere in the mainland, unless you're like New York. Maybe they're comparable.
But yeah, so then we did the same exact process again. We found a great realtor in Kendra, and we were like, hey, this is what we're looking for. This is our price range. Please help us. And then again, Em did pretty much everything behind the scenes. And Kendra was like, oh, she's pretty good. and
I must have her.
stole my wife from me.
Pretty much. We have joint custody now at this point.
But yeah, so that's pretty much how that all played out, and it has just been so good. We found a rental team back in Georgia.
Huge.
We have a couple that luckily signed a 2-year lease.
Nice.
Which is
Did you agree to not raise their rent?
That's an M question.
Oh, no! Okay, the reason I ask is because we have several rental properties, and over the years, multiple times, we've had military people that have lived in them, to include our one here in Hawaii. The very first time we rented it out, it was a military person, and I was like, look, I value stability in a renter over like making more money, especially because the way we buy properties, they're typically foreclosures or very distressed. At this point, we're putting 25% down. So I know pretty much that I'm going to cash flow or at least be at a break even for most of my properties. I value the consistency. So we signed a 3-year lease with somebody and promised never to raise their rent during that time.
Yeah, I am not 100% sure, but I know we have done a lot for this.
You have, I know.
For these renters.
You probably should raise their rent, but I there's a lot of strategy with property management, and everybody is like, sign a year lease, don't do more because you can't raise their rent until their lease is done. But I don't know if they're a good, maybe do a year and see if they're good tenants, and then if they are. But
which they've been fine so far. It's just like, it was kind of weird. As soon as me and Em left, everything needed to be replaced. So like, dishwasher,
microwave,
refrigerator, microwave. They wanted new blinds. We were like, yeah, we'll get the majority of this because you did a 2-year lease, but don't ask for it again.
But then we're done. Yeah. No, you gotta have boundaries for sure. So basically, what I gathered from all of that is you had a person come into your life that was in the military and sort of grab you by your ear and say, hey, let's talk about not pissing away all of your money. Whether it's investing in stocks, whether it's investing in real estate. Somebody was basically like, hey, bro, let me school you up on this.
Yeah, it was like a class with like 4 of us. I was like a PFC at the time. Yeah. And I think I was like one of the only ones that like actually listened to this guy. And that's my big issue with the military, but that's a
different podcast.
Different podcast, yeah.
It's so funny, your story, because it mirrors and echoes so many of the markers that also got Clayton and I involved in real estate. Unfortunately, he was an E6, not a PFC when he got that message, but he was on a MIT team. They call it something different now in the military, but it was him and like a bunch of other people, like 6 other people. It was like a 7-man team, and they were deployed. They were in Iraq, and they were training the Iraqi army in combatives, and they went for a year to do that. And they lived with the Iraqis, and on this team, he basically was talking to, some officer, and the guy was basically like, hey, how long you been in the military? How much BAH have you gotten? Clayton was like, well, I had my son at 19, so I've been getting, with dependent BAH for a decade at this point. And the guy was basically like, what do you have to show for it? And, Clayton gets a little defensive. He's like, well, my son always had a roof over his head. And the guy's like, it's not what I'm saying. Yeah. If you had taken, let's call it, Clayton's old, so housing allowance back in the mid-90s was not what it is today. Did the beer math and said, hey, look, you've gotten X number of dollars over the last decade of your military service. Really, aside from like a temporary lodging, the roof over your head, what do you have to show for it long term? If you had been investing it in real estate, you could have
a house or 2
assets, that somebody else is paying for, that's building your net worth every single day. And then when you sell that or cash in on it or take a loan out on it, you can do other things to invest. And that he literally called me on a satellite phone from the middle of the desert at 2:00 in the morning. We were in Washington at the time. We were at JBLM, and was like, Tundra, we're going to Fort Carson after I get back from my deployment. And I was like, are you okay? I'm like waiting for like explosions or like something, military spouse shit. Yeah, I'm like, this is Army wives. And he is like, when we get to our next duty station, we're buying a house.
Nice.
And I'm like, okay, so you're coming home alive? Yeah, I was like, are you okay? And yeah, he got home about 4 months later, and we road tripped from JBLM to Carson, and we did buy our first house right after the housing market crash in 2009. We bought our first house, which, people talk about now being a scary time to buy houses. I'm like, you don't know scary. Yeah. Like, the actual collapse had happened. But it was due to a very similar reason. Like, one person kind of grabbing him and shaking him and being like, oh my God, do better.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I don't think that happens a ton. I think the reverse happens where the majority of people fearmonger and encourage service members to not even get educated on this as an option. You know, like so many people's default is to go with all the other sheep and live on post housing and be surrounded by their military community for various reasons. And not that home buying is right for everybody. I say that a lot, but I think that a better job could be done on the military's part and NCOs and leadership and officers of really sitting people down. Like they're going to sharp train you to death. They're going to EO you. They're sending you to, you just ran a range. Like they're doing all these things for service members. How many times in your career you've been in 8 years ish?
8 years.
How many times in your 8 years has the military sat you down and said, we are going to talk to you about your VA loan and the options now or in the future that you have with said entitlement that you earn just like all of your other military benefits?
Not as in depth, but we had someone as soon like in processing here at Schofield come and give us like a quick thing and be like, hey.
Duncan, was that person military?
No, it was not. Now you're correct. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
And then I touched on that on our podcast as well. I kind of called out ACS and like the leadership up at Schofield specifically about these people who are giving briefings that have to stop at the visitor center and get a pass to get on the installation because they're briefing to military families and they are not military. They have never done a PCS move. They don't have children that are raised in military life. They don't have soldiers that have been gone for a year. I feel a very strong certain type of way about that. But aside from that, have you gotten any other like great education from the military on the VA loan?
Maybe from like onesies and twosies from like specific NCOs I've had or officers, but like a sit down class to like a company or a platoon, absolutely not. Never.
Egregious. That's tragic.
Yeah, which is crazy now that I'm like really sitting here thinking about it. But one thing I do as an NCO, I'm an E6. I show my soldiers, I don't like, it's not trying to like flex or be a dickhead or anything, but I show them like my investing account and be like, look, this is what you can do if you just like grind a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it sucks from the day to day, from time to time. Like you have to cut out your nicotine, your beers.
Sure. Don't buy rims for your Dodge Charger.
Like you don't need dumb shit. Like if you can take $800 a month, which is a lot. Like
it is
for the majority of people. If you can cut it down to like, I started PFC, I did $100. Like I said earlier.
Sure.
$100 a month.
My daughter is 20. She just turned 20 in the military. She takes $300 a month because she makes,
whatever she makes.
PFC money. She's been in the Air Force for, 18 months, but she puts it into a dividend producing stock that Clayton and I really like. And, it's not a lot now, but it produces a dividend for her every month. And it just rolls back into itself right now because she doesn't need that money. So she's getting compounding interest. Em and I actually talked about it on the way to Pilates the other day. I was like, Em, she's like, I don't invest in anything. And I was like, you have to.
Yeah, I do the majority of it.
Dude.
I'm getting on her though. I get on her all the time. Like you need to educate yourself.
Same.
And just look at YouTube or just like ask me and I will like tell you what to do.
Yeah. It's got to be because I didn't start investing in things other than real estate until I was legitimately, this is like embarrassing as someone who like speaks about investing so publicly, until I was literally in my mid-30s.
Yeah.
Because it seemed overwhelming. It seemed like I don't want to invest in the wrong thing. I don't want to lose all my money, which is why, honestly, to this day, I invest in AG&C, which is a mortgage real estate investment trust, for those of you who don't know what mortgage REIT is, because it's still very much in the wheelhouse of what I'm comfortable with. It's still in the real estate scope of things, which is something that I am very knowledgeable on and I do feel very comfortable investing in. But I found at least something. I might not be able to tell you about like the wider investment world, but I figure knowing a little bit about this one specific thing that made me comfortable enough to put my money there is still better than putting it in my mattress, which is the equivalent. Like Em's like, I have X amount of dollars in my savings account. And I'm like,
why?
Yeah. I was like, just light it on fire and roll it down the hill. Like, isn't doing nothing for you there. Like dollars are little soldiers and we want our soldiers going out into the world, getting friends and marching back. Like we have to think of it that way. not that I expect anybody, I mean, you know me, I'm kind of a bougie, frivolous bitch. I don't cut out, I don't cut out like a lot of things that I could cut out. To be fair, I haven't always been that way. Clayton and I have been doing this for 16, 17 years. We have at periods in our life, you know, made the short-term sacrifice. I think it was, I was watching some interview the other day with Grant Cardone. He's hugely motivational, hugely. And they basically talked about how for X number of years, I think it was like 10 years, that they didn't take a vacation, didn't have a day off, and people see, that resonates with me because people see my success specifically now. I've been doing this almost a decade.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, you're playing tennis, you're going to Pilates, you're doing this, you're doing that.
Always like this.
You know, you're golfing on a Sunday with your, like, yeah, exactly. Like the first 3 or 4 years that I was doing this, and again, Emma and I touched on this, Clayton was downstairs like, do you even love your family? Do you even want anything to do with, like, seriously? Because the first 3 years I did this 100% on my own. I had Jenny. My first 6 deals I did by myself, and then small mental breakdown. And then John gave me Jenny, and that was a huge help. But I was still doing like all of, I mean, think about all, you know my business very well. Think of all the components to my business, doing it all by myself. Aside from like Jenny, you know, doing like writing the offers and managing the timelines and stuff. It was crazy. I look back at it now and I'm like, I mean, smaller scale, I was doing like 30 to 50 deals a year, which is still
a lot.
An average agent does 10 to 12. To your point, like to circle all the way back to what you said, you have to make some degree of short-term sacrifice. Like it can be hard now and easy later, or it can be easy now and hard later.
Yeah. Like all those like Instagram posts you see when you're scrolling, it's like if you started investing at 20 years old and you did $100 a month, you have $6.5 million. And I'm like, yeah, that might be a lot, but like, is that true? And then I just deep dive on YouTube. I'm like laying in bed or something. I'm like,
black hole.
Yeah, exactly. But it's good.
We've now touched on what got you kind of your real estate story. We've touched on investing in general, which is fun because I haven't had anybody talk to me or with me about that for kind of people in general. Also, disclaimer, we are not like investment professionals.
No,
we're not giving investment advice.
Yeah.
Like I just have to put, we're talking as friends, like about strategies and things that we use, stories that we've had that have impacted, influenced our lives. I am a real estate professional, so I can talk in a official capacity about that, but just general disclaimer, just in case the haters on the internet, fuck you trolls. Yeah.
I do everything's for fun.
Yes, everything is for fun. Love that. I will let you go now. You can ask me questions. I'm so nervous.
So this is the question Em was telling you about, right?
This has plagued my mind.
Kind of a two-parter. Okay. First one is, you have told me before that you dropped out of high school.
I did.
What was that like, and why did you do it?
I dropped out in 9th grade. So not even like, when people are like, oh, you dropped out in high school like a senior. I was like, no, bitch. I was like middle of 9th grade year. I dropped out. And it did stem a little bit from my parents' divorce. They were getting divorced. It was very much like, wanted to live with mom. She had found somebody new, and that's what kind of spawned the divorce, and wanted to live with her, but she was very much living a different life with her new 19-year-old boyfriend. She was 36. They've been together like 30 years now. So, I mean, you know, my stepdad's great. He's 6 years older than me. Same age as Clayton, basically. So it was definitely a tumultuous time. And finally, I convinced my mom to let me come and live with her. And the deal was that I was going to do homeschool.
Okay.
But I absolutely, as like 15, 16-year-old, you know, kid was like, yes, I'm going to do homeschool. But I also started working at Fred Meyer's, which is like a grocery store.
Yeah.
For those of you who aren't familiar, bagging groceries and pushing carts in Fairbanks, Alaska, where it's 40 below, like a lot of the year. And I just really, like, the people at work loved. I am a very hard worker. You know, that is just something that most people know about me. And they just kept giving me more hours, and I was making more money, and I was like in charge of the other cart pushers. I got my first taste of power. No, I was, you know, like it just kind of snowballed to where like I was enrolled in homeschool, but work was just like, oh, we'll give you more hours. We'll give you more hours. And I was like, I'm about making that money. Yeah, like I'm going to hustle, you know? And it's just something that like got put on the back burner. And, you know, my freshman year, the rest of my freshman year went by, and sophomore and junior and senior. And I got old enough to become, you know, a cashier. And then, you know, started making the big bucks. So it just kind of snowballed from there. So it's not like I left high school as some like intentional, like, fuck this place, like Breakfast Club style or anything. It was just a very large transitionary period in my life, my family life.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents did not hold me accountable to keep going to school.
Mm-hmm.
I did tell my mom that I promised her that I would get my GED or high school diploma before I was 30. And I did. July, my birthday's in August. July, when I was 29.
Holy shit.
Don't let it be said that I don't keep my promises though. So I went to an online high school. So I do have like now, but yeah, I didn't technically go to in a conventional way high school and graduate, but I don't think that anybody who knows me and like speaks to me and does the things, I don't think anybody would really know that about me. I do go out of my way to make sure that I'm well read and educated. I enjoy like learning about things and being able to discuss various topics with people. I think I have a pretty wide breadth of interests and things that I can speak on, somewhat educated, at least generally. So I didn't go to high school calculus. I know, unless you're getting a job that really like is specific to math. Unpopular opinion, no shade against school, but I think our school system could do with some overhauling. In general, won't get into that too much because that's not what this podcast is about. But I mean, I did just have a daughter who went through the Hawaii school system, which I will just quickly say I was very worried about. You guys don't have kids yet, but like imagine you were taking Toby somewhere to a doggy daycare that like didn't have the best reputation. You'd be like, I don't know. Hawaii schools are like that. They coming here as a parent, I was like, this chick is never going to get into college. Because we were here like 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. Those were the original like 3 years that we were supposed to be here. So the plan was when we were coming here was to stay our 3 years, do our sunset tour, go back to Colorado. Because that's where we have all of our investment properties, retirement, etc. And so I'm thinking, wow, she went to the number 2 charter school in the state of Colorado when we lived there before. And she would have been fed right into the high school, which is like the number 1 high school in the state. We took her out of that to move here, and we were going to try to get her back in when we moved back to Colorado. And I'm thinking like, there is no way she's going to get back into this school coming here for 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. She's going to be so far behind. And while I will say that the Hawaii schools are not as academically rigorous as mainland schools, where the Hawaii school system blew my mind, and to this day I preach this and talk to all of my incoming families about this, their give a fuck is so high.
Oh, really?
High. Like Loretta rode, not just rode. This girl drove the struggle bus in 7th grade with math. The math was not mathing. She could not figure it out. Clayton tried. My dad tried. Like it was not clicking with her. The teachers, before we even knew anything was wrong, called us and said, hey, Loretta is having a hard time. They had an action plan already. They said, we sat her down. We said, sis, you are struggling. This is not optional. You can choose, though, to come in before school, give up some of your recess time, or stay after school for 15 minutes every day. So it's not like they were asking her for like 2-hour tutoring sessions. 15 minutes every day, they gave her the choice when she wanted to come in. She was at school early every day, so she chose to do it before school. They then went on to say, we're doing this extra work for her. We don't want you jacking it up at home. So here, dum-dum, this is how we're teaching the math nowadays. Because Clayton and I have been out of school for a very long time.
While,
We're old. And they took it upon themselves to not only call us to notify us that there was an issue, they had an action plan already. They had spoken to Loretta and said, hey, we're going to help you with this in short 15-minute increments, 5 days a week. And then they said, hey, mom and dad, if you want to supplement at home, this is actually how we're teaching it. These are the tools for you to help her. And she went on to graduate with 5 AP classes, captain of the color guard team, had a part-time job her last year of high school, and joined the Air Force and is now a productive tax-paying member of society. So, proud mom moment.
Yeah,
but
that's
nice. The schools here, fine. Academically, on paper, test scores are not as rigorous as the mainland. As a mom, that shit meant a lot to me. And I think it made her whole experience here going to school. She loved going to school. She never hated it. Even 7th grade, 8th grade, when you're there like emotional, hormonal preteens, she would get herself up, get herself ready, pack her lunch, and go out to the corner to meet her girlfriends to walk to school. Like she liked it. then that was great. And I think it made the school experience better. Again, not the topic of the podcast, but for a lot of people who watch my podcast, they have kids, and that's a common question I get. So that's the deal with high school for me in a very long roundabout way.
And then the next question that follows that up is, do you have any regrets going from high school to your real estate, I guess, empire now? and what would you have told yourself as a high school student if you could go back in time now and be like,
that's a great question.
Hey, dum-dum, listen up.
None, no regrets.
Really?
Absolutely none.
Nice.
And I think that I feel that way because I believe very strongly that things that happen to you in life are like throwing a stone in a pond and the ripples, go out. If I had stayed in high school and graduated high school, maybe I would have gone on to college and gotten some useless degree that I don't use and paid $100,000 for. Or maybe I would have stayed in North Pole, Alaska and never left. Maybe I would have fallen in with a bad crowd and be a junkie living under a bridge in California. You know what I'm saying? Like the choices, every single choice, like there have been moments and times in my life where I was a hot mess. Like if someone from me growing up in Alaska saw me now, they would bet you $1 trillion that I'm not that person.
The same person? Yeah.
$1 trillion. So while it has been a bumpy road at times, mostly due to things that I had, fucked up at the time, I wouldn't change anything ever in my life, the good times or the bad times, because if I changed one of those things,
changes the whole trajectory.
The whole damn thing. And I'm pretty fucking happy with where I am in life right now. You know what I'm saying? Like good, bad, like everything that's happened in my life has made me resilient as I am. The grit that I have, the personality that I have, the ability to explain things to people in real estate that makes them have that aha moment where they're like, I don't have to throw away $100,000.
Yeah.
Sure, if I changed things, my life could maybe be better or would have been easier, but I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't have Loretta. Maybe I wouldn't know UNM. Maybe I wouldn't meet Clayton. That's a scary thing to
think about.
To like speculate on because one thing.
It's what if.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That butterfly.
Yeah.
So, nope, dead in your eyes, wouldn't change a fucking thing.
Nice.
Okay, other questions?
Yeah, actually.
Okay, great. I love
these
this.
ones are on the phone.
Okay.
Sorry.
Please hold. Well, now I want to ask you the same thing. Any one great moment in your life that you would change? You have to say no now because we just had this deep conversation. Doesn't have to be the same answer for everybody, but like really anything in life that you're like, without question, I would unfuck that or change that.
I mean, I did start investing very, very early, but like if I could have started investing as soon as I turned 18 and not been like worried, I don't know. It's a good thing to worry about like college or what you're going to do. I had no plan.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, well, I don't want to write a college essay, so military it is,
Okay, but to be fair, that's one of the reasons Loretta joined.
Yeah.
Like she didn't have a solid, and she grew up with me kind of not talking shit about college. Again, not hating on college, but I do think it's kind of marginally unrealistic to expect an 18-year-old child. Because, really at 18, like, fine, you're a legal adult.
I was
but
not mature at all. I had a license.
Yeah, you're...
That was it.
Yeah. Are you really at 18... in the space to be like, I'm going to get in this much debt and go to school for all these years to do X. You haven't had time to figure your shit out yet. So Loretta is like, hey, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be a dirtbag and just, stay living at home with mom and dad. She joined the military.
And this is a crazy hot take. I honestly believe everybody should do the military at least once.
I can't do a push-up.
I know. But I mean, you give 3 years for your life and you get access to the VA loan.
Yeah. Cheat code.
Cheat code
for life. 100%.
The amount of my friends, I'm 25, by the way. I turned 26 in like 3 weeks. The amount of my friends that have a house are like 1%. And
me and Clayton.
And I'm like...
You're on your second one.
Yeah, and I'm on my second one. I have $1 million in real estate. I don't like... Obviously, it's debt, and I'm still paying it off. But like,
there's a difference between good debt and bad debt. Let's just.
And that is just mind blowing.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely mind blowing.
It's so good.
It gives me
chicken skin.
Yeah, I'm like,
you have $1 million in real estate.
In real estate. Yeah.
But also, I'm just saying, if you had sold that Georgia house and freed up some of your VA entitlement, we could do it a little bit bigger of a house here. So, fun fact for those of you who don't know, you can use your VA loan more than once. A lot of people don't know that. I just talked to what I would say a very seasoned military spouse the other day in person. They are a Navy family, and she has bought and sold homes over the years and didn't know that you could use it more than once simultaneously. So you guys bought your Georgia home on your VA loan, kept it. That does mean you have less entitlements when you come here to buy your house, but then you bought another home here. And even if you had gone over the entitlements, you can still do that. You just have to put 25% down on the difference. And these are basic VA rules. Fundamentals. People don't know them, which is crazy and goes back to the military doing a piss poor job of.
Which is why you have to teach yourself, like,
or talk to a real talk to a professional. Like, I've built my whole business to service that void, that lack. So you would start investing earlier is your thing.
Yeah, investing earlier. And
you started at 19. You start a whole year earlier.
Which is crazy.
If your biggest life regret is that you would have invested 12 months, you are golden. Golf clap for Duncan.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Okay, your questions. I'm sorry, I sidetracked you.
No, you're good. You're good. What's something most of your clients don't ask, but they should? And then I have one more after this.
I think clients, and I'm dealing with this right now, and that's why it's on the top of my mind. Everyone just assumes that they should trust and listen to the people that are already in their lives. Parents, friends, aunts, uncles. And I'm not saying to don't listen to your parents. But just because someone is your mom does not mean she knows shit about Hawaii real estate.
Yeah.
And or like the person that you meet in processing that happens to be from the same town as you, that guy does not need to be giving you advice. Or like your, first sergeant that you just met. You don't know
no houses.
Who owns no, or maybe he does and it was a terrible experience. Like, you don't know those people. It would be like me walking up to a stranger at Safeway and giving them advice. Yeah. The same level of knowing, but really it's parents. And so this is spawned by, we went out house hunting yesterday, dual military. They're getting $7,000 a month in BAH. I showed them a house, stunning, new roof, new AC, 25 owned solar panels, 2 batteries, electric bills, $125 a month. So it's under their BAH, all those things, single family home here in Eva in my old neighborhood, across the street from Landon, like stunning in every way, slam dunk. They were like, well, I'm talking to my mom and they're really financially conservative. And
your mom's not buying the house.
But also like your mom doesn't know anything about Hawaii real estate. She doesn't know our average appreciation. A lot of families, especially if they're not military background themselves, don't understand the BAH and the COLA. Like 100%. You're literally getting tax-free government dollars for housing. You can give it back to on-post housing, which they are currently doing, but they extended for 3 more years. They have given over $100,000 away already.
Could you imagine if they bought a house the first time they were here? 6 years?
Yeah. They're here for 5 more years.
5%?
They're Navy. They're
5%
here.
Every year?
Every year.
Are you kidding me?
On $1 million home. The house is $1,030,000. If we see 5%, that's $50,000 a year. I did the math for them for 5 years. Even if we get half of average, 6 figures, no matter what. Like, it's ridiculous. And I get the trepidation. They're first-time home buyers. They're
it's a scary experience. It's a very scary experience.
It can be, but the whole I'm young, so I can't do this thing burns my biscuits because you're old enough to sign up and serve our United States military. You signed up to put your life on the line. Okay, you're old enough to do that, but you can't pay your own mortgage instead of somebody else's. Get the fuck out of here.
That's crazy.
Make that make sense to me. Blows my mind every single time. So that's the thing. Like, people don't ask me if they should be taking advice from their immediate circle of loved ones. And again, it's all well-intentioned. I get it. No one's aunt is out there being malicious, towards me or like towards them. It's all well-intentioned, but you do have to sort of take into account the knowledge or information or background gaps that those people have when it comes to this topic.
Yeah.
That's my answer to that question.
All right. And the last one. How do you handle situations where emotions drive the deal?
I'm kind of a heartless bitch, so it doesn't really bother me so much. No. That's a hard one because there are a lot of different personality types. And you are dealing with people constantly that are at various stages of
their life,
but also their PCS here, which is stressful. Okay, life. Okay, they're pregnant. Or maybe their marriage isn't great. Or maybe they're newly married and just moving here from Omaha. and have never been away from their family before. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, a lot of situations in life, but then also you just moved here like 9 months ago. The move here is no joke. So
it took my dog for like 3 hours. I was like, no.
Toby. Yeah. So like, I just remember the story about your cat getting out of the carrier on the plane.
Sidetrack. My cat got out of the carrier on the plane. The waitress or the stewardess came up, tapped me on the shoulder. She's like, "Oh, is your cat in the carrier?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah, he is." And then they're like, "No, actually, he's not. He's the only cat on the plane, and he's
over there in
4 rows up."
C4.
And the guy, like, it was like comical. The guy was like, "Oh, there's a cat here." I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's mine. Toss him back."
I've heard this story like 5 times, and I can't not just cry laughing.
And then they gave us a flex cuffs, and we had to like cuff him into the. It was a whole thing. It was so embarrassing.
So, you land here, you're stressful. A little stressed. You're a little stressed. So that's it's a lot of different stages of life. You're moving here, it's stressful. Pets, kids, military not telling you a bunch of stuff, and then you jump into this real estate transaction, which can be stressful. I do everything in my power to make it as smooth and effortless as possible. But, things aren't perfect.
The PCS packet helps.
Oh, thank you.
So much.
Thank you.
So much.
I'll give you that $20 for the plug later.
Yeah.
No, that's the point. Like we had done 7 moves in 14 years leading up to coming here. So that's like a move every 2 years.
Yeah.
We were not
that's
new.
a lot.
Clayton's very impatient. He would get comfortable at a duty station at about the 18-month mark and be like, And this was before the matching system, so he'd call the branch manager.
Yeah.
And, give him his social and ask, like, where it was open. And if they all sucked, he was like, bye. And then if it was great, he'd be like, yeah, put me on assignment there. We moved to 2 different assignments in Germany because he just randomly called his branch manager. And Germany was open, and he called me, and he's like, you want to go to Germany? I was like, fuck yeah, I want to go to Germany.
I like Europe.
So, we had done legitimate overseas moves before with more information and more ease than coming here. And that's what spawned the packet, was really just the desire. I'm a military spouse first and foremost, like I was raised military, married military, bred an airman, like nobody is more military than me. And the lack of information coming here and the kind of sponsor program here, very hit or miss. So thank you for appreciating the packet. It is a labor of love.
Yeah.
Like it really, I hope it helps so many people. We sent it out to 640 people last year, which is crazy to me.
Damn.
Like, I don't know, to even say that, like I've reached that many service members.
And then if they show their friends, now you're impacting even more.
I know. It's such
That's
a
nuts.
cool, like, stone in a
nuts.
pond, like even if it's a small ripple. So yeah, then you have like people, maybe the sellers aren't cooperating with something we asked for, or you're a seller and we get some crazy requests, and people take that kind of stuff very personally. Like it's a personal attack. And I'm like, okay, this buyer is not personally attacking you because they want these credits or this thing. Like they're just trying to get the best deal that they think they can get, which is what you would do in their place. Like if you were a buyer, you would do the same thing. So I try to just always educate people on what's average and normal and common in the market, so that if those things happen, they've at least heard about them before, and just try to assure them that they are a little baby bird. And I am just, ferrying them through this journey. Yeah, no, like nothing bad is going to happen to you. So it's a lot of, I don't want to say hand holding in like a bad way, like not a condescending way, but like just constantly reassuring people, like, I know this is new for you, but I deal with this on 12 out of every 10 transactions. Like this is normal. And it's, it's hard because when you're having a bad day or you're stressed out, or I have there are 31 transactions in escrow right now. Yeah. And then someone's like, did we hear back on my offer yet? And I'm like, it's been 17 minutes since we submitted it. No, we haven't heard back, but clients don't know any of that or take that into account. And they don't know about that because I try so incredibly hard to go out of my way to make every client feel like they are my only client, which is something I talk to a lot of people about because I have a lot of exposure now, like online, and people know that I'm the #1 agent in the state and I'm very busy and I do a lot of volume. People sometimes are like, well, are you going to have time for me? Are you going to, like
that's why I built a team.
Yeah. Like, yes. That is why I built a team. And I've started I haven't gotten like shade, but like for lack of better words, I've had a few people recently like, well, are you just going to hand me off to somebody else? And I don't think they understand the level of involvement that I still have in every phase and stage of selling, buying, like the transaction in general. And I've been kind of comparing it to like, and not that I'm a huge sports person, so I'm going to give limited sports analogies, and I don't want you to go crazy down a sports rabbit hole because I'm like glaze over and I'm not going to know what you're talking about. But if you look at people like Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan or Tiger Woods, really great performers in their fields or industries or sport, right? I think the thing that sets them apart is not necessarily that they were the best per se, like naturally, but Kobe was in the gym 4 or 5 in the morning every single day.
I think I read something like 4 hours before every practice or something like that.
Right. So it's not that he just woke up and was like, I'm the best. Yeah. He was the best because he put in the time, right? He gave the effort. And it's the same for me. Like the reason that I'm the best is mass repetition. I have done this more. I've seen more. I've negotiated through more. But also, if Michael Jordan was just out there playing by himself, he would not have won all those championships. He had to have someone that was passing the ball to him, or he was passing the ball to them, or other people on the team doing equally important things. It doesn't mean that he didn't know what was going on the court, but you can't have any amount of greatness without people behind you. And I firmly believe that. Like Jeff Bezos is not at Amazon packing up my shit that I ordered last night when I couldn't sleep. He has a team. Elon Musk is not assembling every single Tesla that comes off of production. You know, he has a team. Those are great individuals that have built great things and have great service in their field. And I realized that early on in my career that if I wanted to scale for growth, I had to have the team in place. And I do value the fact that pretty much, aside from comma is not military, but everybody else who works for me, most of them past clients, which I love, and all of them are military. And so they just fundamentally get where people are at in life when they come here. But no, just because I have a team and I have help, that should make you as a consumer feel better because
they understand.
You're getting an answer in an hour or less, or else. You've seen M-Stress about, you know, like, I got to get to this message. It means that if I'm not available, maybe I'm podcasting. Maybe I'm in a listing appointment. Maybe I'm showing houses. If you're out with me, like we're house hunting. If I'm busy, like fucking around on my phone, answering questions, doing things, livid. You'd be like, no, absolutely not. But I can give you my undivided one-on-one attention because I have an assisting agent with me who is there to open the doors, turn on all the lights, turn off the lights, lock up the doors. And while we're driving from appointment to appointment, that assisting agent is also answering the messages in the group chats, responding to people who need answers so that I am locked in on you and your experience while we're house hunting. I'm talking to you about the neighborhood, the schools, where your local Starbucks is, where the pickleball courts are. Also, fun fact, Duncan's my pickleball partner when we play against Emily and Clayton, who are the enemy. So I think me having a team, consumers out there who are getting ready to work with me should really be very excited and immensely grateful that I had the forethought and desire to give the best level of service and know that I can't do that on my own. Any amount of greatness that anyone achieves comes with a team. And my team is amazing. So Facts. Especially
that transaction coordinator.
The little redhead downstairs. She really is the best. She very quickly, I will not ever forget, Victoria and I left giving you guys your keys, which was still surreal. I met you and Emily for the first time, giving you your keys to your house that you had never seen in person.
She told me about her podcast.
Yes.
How you're like, wait, you didn't have a first walkthrough? I was like, no, we just showed up and we're like,
I'm coming for comma.
We're like, hell yeah, let's do it.
I was like, well, maybe he was out of town.
No, there was something happening at the house. There's some maintenance thing or something like that. I don't
remember.
Me either.
9 months ago is a long time for me. That's a lot of transactions. Sometimes appraisers will call me and they're like, 6 months ago at ABC 123 Street. Do you remember if the kitchen was renovated?
Let me stop you right there.
Dude, I do. Email me. I can't, I want to give you the answer that you need, but
So, yeah,
6 months ago, you're giving me the address?
Yeah.
Like, can you give me the client's name and maybe
Yeah.
I can remember? But it's a pet peeve that we can talk about later. Other questions for me, or did I
No, that's all of them.
nailed it? Now
Yeah.
I have more questions for you.
Let's get into it.
Oh, this is the most exciting part. I'm just going to do a whole podcast of lightning round questions for people.
Is this lightning round right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you have anything else you want to chat about.
Are these one-liner answers, or are they?
Yeah, they're immediate. Like, I
Okay.
don't need a deep dive. Oh, actually, though, guest topic of choice. Do you have anything? I'm asking everybody this. It doesn't have to be like a whole other podcast episode, but do you have a topic that you want to bring to light, chat about quickly? It can be PCS, military, real estate, like anything that's important to Duncan Smith that you want to chat about.
Yes, actually.
Okay. Great.
A little bit.
Okay.
We've hit on it pretty hard. It's
Okay.
like soldiers
Beat the dead horse.
soldiers just not knowing what is available to them at like their fingertips. They just changed the rule with TA. I tell all my soldiers, if you're not taking college classes, like you are literally taking $4,500, opening a trash can and throwing it in. That's crazy.
Yeah. Put it in there with your BAH if you're living on post.
like what are you doing?
Yeah.
Same with the BAH thing. It's like, yeah, I understand some families do need to live on post, right?
100%.
100%.
100%.
It just makes more sense financially for them, and that's great.
Yes.
If you are okay in a financially, like you're financially stable, you're not utilizing your VA loan, like you are just wasting the biggest flex you have on all of your peers.
Yes.
Like
and even for the people who have to live on post because they have no other choice, those people still deserve the education so that they can do better.
They can make their own decisions
in the future.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just keep in that same cycle of sucking.
Yeah.
If you can't do it now for whatever reason, maybe your credit has hiccups, maybe your family is too large to be able to really be able to do it here in Hawaii. Like, there are reasons to live on post. But that doesn't mean that you should remain ignorant and have your head in the sand and just not know. Circling back to tuition assistance, and again, I'm not going to harp on college in this episode, but if you have a service member who doesn't know, like, and I know you can take like general classes to a point, but you think people should go to college just for the sake of going to college because the money's there? Like, what, I guess, would you say is a good, like, multi-purpose path or something to get that's like broadly, so it's not a waste is my thing.
So my thing
is don't be an art major. That's what I'm asking.
My thing is like, I've put myself in like a winning position right now.
Agree.
Like I don't want to lose. I want to be set up for my life.
Duncan loves to win.
I want to retire. I don't want my life to suck.
Yes.
I don't want to have to like, struggling is good. Everybody should struggle.
Yeah.
A little
Dandelion through concrete. Got it.
But if you're doing that your whole life, like
it's old.
that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So I think setting yourself up for the best chances possible, it's kind of like, I don't know, gambling, right? I like to gamble on myself. If you're going to win, you're going to win. Kendra knows about that.
Duncan beat me at tennis recently.
Yeah.
I want a rematch.
But yeah. So
you beat me one game. I beat you the second game.
I was gassed.
You were.
I was gassed.
You did phenomenal. Clayton's like, you were this, you were that, your knee is still, and I was like, no excuses. No.
Yeah.
Duncan played very well, even though he plays tennis like pickleball, which is whatever. No, you played and that was your fourth game.
Fourth time ever playing.
Yes. No, you play phenomenal tennis. The amount that Clayton and I harass you and Emily, we're always like, come play pickleball with us. Come play tennis with us. These guys are probably like, oh my God, these old fuckers will not leave us alone. But like, you're our friends that are like down. Like, you're like, I want to go hit some balls. And Clayton and I are like, bet. What time do you want to be at the course? Yeah. We are so fortunate to have Joe and Jen too. Like, they have kids, and nothing against kids, but like,
it's a lot more difficult to plan things when you have kids.
And so you're at the end of the spectrum where like you haven't started your family yet, and Clayton and I are empty nesters, and it just is like this.
It's a good like crossway.
Yeah, so it can be like randomly on a Tuesday night, you're in the middle of dinner, and Clayton and I are like, "Want to play pickleball?" You guys are like, dude, "Let me put away the knife. Like, let's go play pickleball for 3 hours." Which I love personally. Thank you guys for always being down. We do need to, Emily and I officially are going to talk to you and Clayton next time we play. And we are going to enact a house rule that we don't want any in real time criticizing done of any plays or mistakes that might have, we want no faces. We want no.
We should be playing like this the whole time.
We want no nothing. That's what we want to look like. We want to look happy. If I have something to talk about, like Clayton constantly hitting the ball into the net because he tries to hit it too hard, I should talk to him about that, not on the court. We should just have fun and play with our friends and get the cardio and enjoy the cute clothes. That's what we're there for.
So much fun.
Honestly, it is so much fun, but we do all of us do it. And I think if we just didn't do it in the moment, it would be funner. Mm-hmm. So Emily and I are going to enact that rule.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Okay, great.
I have your reaction on camera.
But yeah, I think betting on yourself and putting yourself in the best possible situation,
safe bet,
is like, I don't know. I don't want to lose. Why would I want my life to suck? Yeah. If I can get a free $4,500 and say, hey, look, I've done 8 years in the military. I own 2 houses and I have a bachelor's degree. In what though? That was the thing. We lost track. Yeah, sorry, you set yourself up for success. Yeah, what is it? Mine's in business communications. Okay. So I'm doing nothing with it right now. I mean, I'm kind of helping Em with social media from time to time. Unofficial employee. Yeah, unofficially. I'll like, you wait until you get out of the military one day. I look at all the posts and I'm like, this is stupid. Change this. Yep. I don't know. I love it. The Munch Madness. Yeah. I will give you, it did very well. Big brain. Yes. And it was such a cool, fun idea that like we wouldn't have thought of. So honestly, thanks for that. Not bad. No, it was fantastic. Good. Okay. So I would just say my like add on to your statement about tuition assistance is just be mindful of what you're picking. Yes, yeah, of course. So that you're not taking, fine, it might be free money and you're getting the free education. You're not getting into debt for it, but you're still giving time. And I think time is precious because it's one of the only things we can't make more of quite yet. Yeah. So I think just giving your time to something that if you don't have like an all-out passion for X that you're going to get a degree in, maybe pick something that's broad or widely applicable or... Yeah, so I started with just gen eds. Mm-hmm. I just knocked all my gen eds out and talked to my guidance counselors like, hey, I don't know what I want to do. What will like... And then I went back to YouTube, like, what's the most average job that like a normal person gets? What degree do they have? And I was like, sure, business communications. Love it. Sure. Done. And then it's on paper and I'm good to go. Do you like it? Is it interesting to you? It at times. Okay. At times it is. Others. But you don't like hate it. Yeah, I don't hate it. It's kind of like a conundrum because people are like, I don't want to go to school for something that I don't like. That was Loretta's big thing getting into the military. She's like, I don't want to take that because she did very well on her ASVAB scores because she's a smarty pants. And they were like, go cybersecurity, do this. Like you'll have clearance. When you get out, it's immediate 6 figures, like whatever. She's like, Mom, I would be miserable behind a desk. Like I would hate my life. And hearing your child say that to you, you know, I'm like, take the 6 figures, get the security clearance, like be safe behind the desk, you know? She was just like, I would hate it so much. Yeah. She's in maintenance. She works on F-16s, their electrical and environmental systems. She is literally 5'4" on a flight line with all these big maintenance dudes. And she loves it. Yeah. She's out there like, you know, whatever. So it's a little bit of a balancing act, I think, with anything in life, doing something that you love or doing the thing that's going to like make you the most money or that's like the more like responsible thing. It's like goals at the end of the day. Like, what are your goals? Do you want to enjoy your time in the military or do you want to, you know, do something else? Or in life in general, not even just in the military. Okay. Well, that was a good one. Be smart with your tuition assistance, but use it. Yes. Use the benefit. Yes. Perfect. They do trades as well, I believe. Oh, okay. So I read somewhere that the next round of millionaires is tradespeople. Yes. Plumbers, electricians, things like that. Shout out the guys from back home. Do you know a lot of tradespeople back? Yeah, I do. Oh, okay. Yes, I do. Well, my daughter's, Loretta's boyfriend is getting out of the military. He's been in for like 6 years maybe and is going immediately to school in Texas to be an electrician. He does E&E, same job as her. So he does electrical systems on the planes, but is going to stay in the electrician field and is going to some sort of trade school to like. That's exciting. Good luck. Yeah. I mean, at least he has a plan. What kills me is when young people get out of the military and they're like, I'll figure it out. And I'm like. It's like, you're going to go home and live with mom and dad. Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. Lightning round. Time travel. Past or future?
Do I get to pick, like, what time period?
Ooh, yes. Okay.
Yeah, past.
Okay, and where? When?
Oh, I would love to see Rome in its prime.
Okay.
See the Colosseum. A little gory, but seeing dudes like rip each other's
This
head
is
off
Sparta.
would be like, oh my god.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
As long as I'm not like
just observing, not interacting.
Yeah.
I would also pick past and court of Henry VIII.
Okay.
I'm a huge
I don't really know much
English
about that.
history nerd. I'll bore you about it sometime. Maybe one day we'll drink together and we'll just talk about.
What's that show? Drunk History. Have you seen that?
No.
Fire.
Oh.
They just
note
get
to self.
historians get plastered and they just talk about history and then like they animate it. It's
okay.
awesome. Yeah.
That sounds right up my alley. Go-to comfort food.
Ooh. I like ice cream. A lot.
We bought some for after dinner.
I know.
Okay. What kind?
Ooh, doesn't really matter.
Really? You don't have like a go-to, you can only have one type of ice cream for the rest of your life, gun to your head, what is it?
Chocolate chip cookie dough. Probably. Or mint chocolate chip.
One of the ones we got was mint chocolate chip.
Yeah, they're fighting up there right now.
Clayton and I are such good friends. Okay, this is a big one, and we had to take down a post on social media because of this, actually, so I need like an honest answer. Pineapple on pizza.
Yeah.
No!
I love Hawaiian pizza.
This podcast is over. We're no longer friends.
You don't like pineapple on pizza? You're crazy.
You're crazy!
Where do we live?
Okay, it was invented by the Canadians, I think. It wasn't even invented by... You
love it.
You
Don't
think
even care.
you know you can't have the mint chocolate chip ice cream now. You put pineapple on pizza?
I don't typically get Hawaiian.
Does Emily know this?
Yeah, she likes it too. She's the one that showed me Hawaiian pizza.
Okay, fine. You're my pickleball partner, so I guess I'll just have to let it slide. But that is egregious.
Yeah.
We literally had to take down a post because comments were getting like legitimately heated. Like over this topic. Obviously, I'm joking in my outrage, but
I'm
like
not.
fine. Dead to me. You know I'm quick to dead a bitch. Yeah, it really did get heated, so we had to take it down. Favorite way to unwind?
Ooh, recently? I don't know. I watch One Piece. It's a nerd show, anime.
Okay.
Cool.
I was like, I don't know what this
usually video games, but that's the only difficulty really is living here. Is being from New Hampshire. The time difference, 6 hours.
So far, yeah.
Is very difficult. So like, I'll get off work at like 4. And it's 10 p.m.
Yeah,
you
mom and dad are asleep.
Mom and dad are asleep. All my boys back home are asleep. And it's like, what am I going to do? So that's why it's nice having an awesome wife. We just hang out, cook food, go to the beach, play pickleball. That's why I told her, I was like, you need to talk to Kendra about building a community on it.
Check.
Yeah.
We literally kidnapped you guys and have assimilated you into like all things.
Day-to-day life, pretty much.
Day-to-day life,
Literally.
yeah. You guys need to have a drawer here in our house, pretty much. What did you want to be when you were a kid?
Oh, any kid that's into sports. NFL, NHL.
Oh, lacrosse. Fun fact, you're a wicked lacrosse player from what I understand.
Yeah, I used to be pretty decent at lacrosse. Okay.
Fun fact about me, people ask me this question like over the years, I never wanted to be anything. I never had, I know. I never had like
no dreams and aspirations?
Nope. I'm telling you, one decision away from living under a bridge in California, Duncan. I'm telling you. I am telling you. Yes. No, like growing up in North Pole, Alaska, I want to be an ice carver. Like, what am I going to aspire to?
Husky driver?
Yeah. Like being the Iditarod. No, like I didn't. What's one tradition either that you grew up with or that you and Emily have now that you love?
We haven't done it in a while, but I grew up with my parents and brother. My parents are still together. Every night we would go around the table and say, best part of your day, hardest part of your day, and what are you looking forward to?
Oh.
And that one is just a good thing to unwind.
That's nice.
And then
so wholesome.
Yeah, it's nice. And then one of my buddies, Jake, every time we'd go camping together a lot when we were younger, and his parents, I think, came up with this, and they go, "I'm happy, are you happy?" And then
you've told me about this.
Everybody does it. It is so funny. It just lightens the mood. Okay. And then everybody goes around and said, "I'm happy," and then it's
you get
stupid.
One dick in the group though. That's like, I'm having a bad day. Like it ruins the whole thing.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Clayton and I have a tradition that we did with our kids. Every Christmas Eve, we would get an air mattress and we would blow it up and sleep in our living room. and we would watch A Christmas Carol. And it stems from buying our first house, actually full circle back to real estate. Buying our first house in 2009. Loretta was like 3 and we had nothing. We got our house on Christmas Eve. We got the keys and we went to the PX on Carson and we got a TV, of course, because Clayton we have TVs everywhere. Yeah. So a TV, a Blu-ray player.
What?
Yeah, it was 2009. A Christmas Carol, the Jim Carrey, whatever. An air mattress and bedding and a Christmas tree. A white Christmas tree with silver ornaments. We put the tree up and we had nothing. We ordered pizza.
Domino's?
Pizza Hut. Clayton is a Pizza Hut guy. And we watched A Christmas Carol in the living room, just by the lights of the Christmas tree on an air mattress. And for Loretta's whole life, every Christmas Eve.
You do that? Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah. And even when she comes home for Christmas or whatever, yeah, that's like one tradition that we have. If money wasn't a factor, what would you be doing?
Probably be golfing or on the beach every day. Just hanging out, pickleball every day. The responsible part of me would be like, I'd probably own a company doing something.
Sure.
But the like fun side of me is like, I'd have jet skis. Like,
yeah.
People like, money doesn't buy happiness. I'm like, dude, shut up.
Okay, technically, I have issues with this. You just triggered me. People who say that are dumb because money absolutely runs the world.
Yeah, 100%.
If I wanted to take, like, say I made $50,000 this month. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to take all of that money and donate it to charity, whatever charity you wanted, cancer research, orphans, disabled puppies, like whatever. I wouldn't be able to make those donations or change those people's lives if I didn't have money.
Yeah.
And it's so preposterous to me that people want to like, money's not everything. Money can't buy happiness. Money this, money that. And I'm like, that sounds like a lot of excuses to not work hard or make money or like whatever. And I'm not saying it should be the only thing that you focus on, but money does run the world.
It does.
And you have to be cognizant and aware of that. You can't lie to yourself that egregiously. Yeah. Like I can provide a great life for my family because I earn a good living and we have money and like, can have these amazing experiences and vacations and memories we've built together. And I don't know. Yeah. It's just, there are extremes on both sides, but
I don't know. That brings back the whole entire military thing. It's like I don't love the military, but I like doing military shit. Mm-hmm. Everybody's like, "Oh, you should do what you love," and I'm like, "Okay, that makes sense." But like, look at where I'm at in my life. Yeah. Like I'm not to my own horn, but I'd say I'm pretty well above my peers.
Yeah, you are.
In life experiences.
Yes. Clayton and I have told you and Emily this multiple times. We're like, we'll say something to you and then we'll have to be like, wait, they're 25.
25.
We forget all the time.
And it's just like, because I have my priorities to where I want them and where I have my goals, I'm like, no, I don't want to go out drinking this weekend. That doesn't sound fun to me. I want to
black out and forget what you did.
I'd rather go golfing or do something else and I don't know.
Go to Pilates.
Yeah, go to Pilates, pickleball, something.
Last one. If you could, with the snap of your fingers, break a bad habit, what would it be?
Ooh, of mine? Mm-hmm. Damn. Probably, okay, this is a good one. I always tell I'm forgetful sometimes. Mm-hmm. So I'll tell myself, oh, bring your notebook and write it down. And then I just never look at my notebook. And I'm like,
but it's all in there.
yeah, it's all in there. Like, I'm really, damn, I'm really forgetting something today. What could it be? And then like, I forgot.
You're like that kid from Harry Potter with that ball. And you're like, well, what am I forgetting? That's
I do hilarious. That all the time. Or like, I
just want to text you periodically now and be like, Duncan, look in your notebook.
Yeah. I had a soldier that told me on Thursday, she's like, yeah, hey, I'm going on pass this weekend. I was like, oh, right on, perfect.
Yeah.
I won't bother you. The next morning, 6:15 rolls around. I'm like, hey, where the fuck is your up text? She's like, sorry, I'm on pass. I was like, I'm so sorry. I forgot.
My bad.
That's on me. I won't bother you the next 3 days, but thanks for being alive.
This was a test.
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay. I felt really bad about that one. That one was 100% on me.
You.
I was like, yeah, that's my fault. But
look in the notebook more or be less forgetful.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal.
Okay. I actually don't know what I would. There's so many. Like I have a lot of. I'm very demanding. I guess that might be one. I don't know what a bad habit of mine is that I would change. I'll have to get back to you.
Yeah.
There's not just one. I guess I could go back to my
shoe
toxic.
Shopping?
That's not a bad habit. That's a necessity.
Yeah. Right.
I guess I would maybe break my toxic trait of leaving like this when we're done with this podcast. This is probably staying
half
here.
empty.
Half empty. And I will leave them coffee cups, tea mugs,
I actually
water.
Em used to do that. Broke that habit.
I do it all the time.
like-
In the team podcast, that was my toxic trait.
She'll like
I
leave
guess
it.
I
I'll
would
be
break
like,
that.
pick it up.
Yeah.
Finish it.
Right now.
What are you doing?
Yeah. So that would maybe be it. And I
Yeah.
hate doing the dishes. Hate doing the dishes. It's bad for my nails. But anyways. Okay. Any other things you want to chat about?
No.
This was
think
a
we touched
lot.
it.
We
Yeah,
we
it's
did a
pretty
lot
good.
of things. Okay. Well, thank you so much
Of
for
course.
being my first guy on the podcast, the first service member, for just chatting
Lot
with
of
me about
firsts.
so many firsts, for finally revealing why you and Emily bought a house, because she did not know.
Mhm.
She was like, Duncan wanted to. So anyways, thanks guys. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. I wouldn't have any of this if it weren't for all of you. Bye guys.